Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After's big brawl with Jasmine and Gino's girlfriend Natalie was allegedly more vicious than what showed. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 had one of its wildest moments recently, as Jasmine Pineda went after Gino Palazzolo's new girlfriend Natalie. The couple is headed to divorce, but not before showcasing all the reasons they should have gone that route to begin with rather than explore an open marriage. There's even a rumor that the fight was more violent than what TLC showed. And if that's true, I'm surprised the cops weren't called. Gino and Natalie already seem like a better couple than he ever was with Jasmine. But I don't think anyone was going to say that during the party they all attended for Gino's cousin. It was chaotic, and I'm raising my eyebrow at a recent rumor that claims someone might have escaped the encounter with a sizable goose egg on their head. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After's fight between Jasmine and Natalie was broken up quickly, but apparently that might be because of editing. A new rumor from 90 Day insider Shabuti noted that the incident went on for an hour, to the point that TLC had to halt shooting until cooler heads prevailed. He also noted that there was one particularly violent moment that wasn't shown in the episode. Allegedly, Jasmine picked up a pool ball from a table in the bar and struck Natalie in the head with it. No further details were given beyond that, but one would imagine that'd be grounds for Natalie to press charges against Jasmine, and I'd have to wonder why she didn't if that happened. I initially wrote about being upset that Gino's family set this up, but really there are more people to blame for Natalie and Jasmine's face-to-face. Sure, the producers must create drama for the audience, but I think setting up a woman to be attacked by a man's soon-to-be ex-wife is a step too far. I think this is especially true given Jasmine has a well-documented history of outbursts and violent behavior when filming 90 Day Fiancé. That said, even when she had her big showdown with Natalie Mordovtseva on 90 Day, the last resort, she never actually put her hands on her. I've just realized we now have 2 incidents in this franchise where Jasmine fought with someone named Natalie in a bar, which is quite a bizarre coincidence. We have seen Jasmine get aggressive before, like when she ripped Gino's hat off his head when he found out he'd sent her nudes to an ex-girlfriend. She also threw a high heel at Rawborn in the Last Resort Season 2 tell-all. But for those who don't know, that occurred after this currently airing season of Happily Ever After. As readers might have noticed, she's not pregnant in the season, though she will be down the stretch. The latest season of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, was already delivering a healthy dose of chaos, but fans weren't prepared for the storm that brewed when Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo's alleged new flame, Natalie Mordovtseva, collided on set. What aired was a cocktail of sharp words, dramatic walk-offs, and enough bleeped-out phrases to make the closed captioning look like a Morse code chart. But according to multiple on-set whispers, what fans saw was only a fraction of the wild, jaw-dropping battle that actually went down. The official broadcast offered a 7-minute showdown, but the uncut version, allegedly closer to 40. And that's not counting the tense silence before the cameras even started rolling, or the angry mutterings after producers shouted cut. The setup, an emotional powder keg. The drama started brewing long before the reunion taping. Word had trickled to Jasmine that Gino, her longtime fiancé, had been in suspiciously close contact with Natalie. The two had crossed paths during a cast meet-up months earlier, and since then gossip blogs and Reddit sleuths had been buzzing about flirty social media likes, late-night phone calls, and a few cryptic Instagram captions that hinted at something more than friendship. For Jasmine, whose passionate temperament is practically a 90-day trademark, this wasn't just a storyline, it was a matter of pride. Friends say she arrived at the taping ready for war. Meanwhile, Natalie reportedly showed up in what one crew member called full peacock mode. Hair done to perfection, wearing a dress that could double as armor, and smiling as if she already knew she was about to win the internet. The moment cameras rolled, the scene opened innocently enough. The host was tossing a few recap questions, and Gino was mumbling in his usual Michigan monotone, trying to dodge specifics. Then Jasmine leaned forward, eyes narrowing like a cat about to pounce. "So, Gino," she began, her voice deceptively calm, "maybe you can explain why your friend Natalie calls you at 2 in the morning." Cue the gasps. Cue Natalie's arched eyebrow. On TV, viewers saw Natalie laugh off the accusation, claiming they were just friends, and that Gino had been kind enough to give her advice about navigating post-show relationships. But off-camera sources say the conversation immediately went nuclear. Jasmine didn't just accuse Natalie of crossing boundaries. She reportedly pulled out her phone, waved it in the air, and threatened to show private messages to the entire audience. Producers scramble. Here's where it gets messy. While TLC cameras are always rolling, not everything makes it to air. According to an anonymous crew member, what happened next was too volatile for the final cut. Jasmine stood up, pointing at Natalie so forcefully that one of her hair extensions came loose. Natalie stood up too, and that's when security started inching closer. She didn't hit her, the source insists, but she got close enough that you could feel the heat between them. At one point, Natalie allegedly accused Jasmine of playing victim while keeping other men on the side, a line that, according to insiders, made Jasmine's jaw drop before she launched into a scathing, rapid-fire monologue in Spanish. Most of it didn't make it into the episode, but those who speak the language say it was a creative mix of insults, heartbreak, and promises of karmic revenge. The invisible 40 minutes. Those who were in the room claim the unedited confrontation dragged on for nearly 3/4 of an hour. During that time, props were involved. Jasmine reportedly grabbed the reunion's decorative centerpiece, a fake floral arrangement, and dramatically flung it to the floor when Natalie smirked. Multiple walk-offs happened. Jasmine left the set twice, once to cry in her dressing room and once, allegedly, to call a friend for moral backup. Natalie also stormed out at one point, but returned sipping a bottled water like she was at a spa day. Gino said almost nothing. True to form, Gino mostly sat there rubbing his head, muttering, "Oh boy," while the women hurled accusations over his baseball cap. The post-cut fallout, the part viewers didn't see, might be the most telling. After producers managed to calm things down enough to resume filming, the tension in the room didn't just vanish. Sources say that as soon as filming wrapped, Jasmine confronted Gino again, this time privately, while Natalie made a show of laughing with other cast members just a few feet away. Allegedly, there was even talk of splitting the cast into 2 separate green rooms for the rest of the day to prevent any more incidents. One production assistant described the atmosphere as like high school lunch tables, but with higher stakes and better lighting. Fans react and theories explode. Once the episode aired, fan forums lit up with theories. Many noticed jump cuts and abrupt scene changes, hinting at missing footage. Others pointed out that the camera often panned away during the most heated moments, showing reaction shots from other cast members instead of the argument itself. Either they're saving it for a too hot for TV special, one fan wrote, or it was so bad that TLC's lawyers said absolutely not. The bigger question, was this all real? In the world of 90 Day Fiancé, authenticity is always up for debate. Was this an organic eruption of jealousy or a perfectly timed ratings booster? Some insiders hint that while the emotions were real, certain beats were encouraged by producers who knew how combustible Jasmine and Natalie's personalities could be. Still, those who were in the room swear the intensity couldn't be faked. Jasmine's voice was shaking, her hands were shaking, and Natalie's smile was the kind you give when you know you've gotten under someone's skin. A crew member said, "You can't direct that kind of energy. You can only try to contain it." What's next for the trio? Jasmine has reportedly been laying low on social media since the reunion aired, while Natalie's been leaning into the attention, posting cryptic captions about truth and energy not lying. Gino, predictably, has said nothing, though he was spotted at a Michigan Home Depot last week wearing a hoodie and avoiding eye contact with fellow shoppers. Rumor has it TLC is considering a spin-off episode focusing on the women of Gino's life, which sounds like either a brilliant ratings move or a recipe for disaster. Either way, if the unseen footage ever leaks, it will no doubt become the most talked about 90-day moment since Danielle threw Mohammed's luggage onto the street.